Malibuca and Thomas won Game 2 of the Week 2 FNCS qualifiers, which they would go on to win. Let's take a look at the loadouts they choose, how they get so many kills in the endgame, and much more, so make sure to make it to the end of the video to not miss some of the best tips. Malibuca and Thomas land at the racetrack and are contested by Heine and Maigu. Thomas wins his 50-50, but Malibuca is in danger and he doesn't have a gun and is being pressured. He does have materials though and is able to use them to survive until Thomas can support him. Malibuca recollects himself and gets a gun where they can together spray and eliminate Maigu. They then continue to loot up the racetrack and Thomas leaves carrying a Flapjack, Havoc, the Mammoth Pistol, Minis, and Bigs, while Malibuca carries an MK, Havoc, Minis, Bigs, and Slap Flashes. They then roam around the second zone while getting no Storm Surge tags. Then when the third zone reveals itself, they pull a very close cache spawn and instantly play for it. While playing for the cache, they start to look for tags onto the surrounding fights, and Thomas is able to get a knock, but not an elimination onto Fanagin. They then continue to sit on their cache base, trading Surge with the teams around them as they can quickly use their heals from the cache to heal up. Once the third zone starts to close, this team quickly rotates off the edge of the zone to get out of the congestion. They then rotate onto the Frenzy Barn and continue to find Surge. When the sixth zone reveals itself, they are able to make a quick rotate into the zone, as they know there is basically no congestion around them because most of the lobby is in this northeast corner of the zone, as the zone pushed them that direction. Because Thomas and Malibuca got ahead of this congestion, they were able to have this incredibly free rotate. They then farm out this small barn for extra wood and metal before pulling a close 7th zone that they just white line and elevate into. The 8th zone pulls far, and they make the rotation by tarping in wood on high layers before getting shot and dropping down into the lower layers to cut sight lines that the rest of the lobby has on them. They get into the 8th zone and need a little refresh, so they find Irazumi and Syned, who aren't paying attention, and they are able to grab their floor, and then they spray out their cone and replace it with a ramp, which allows them to drop them both down, giving them 2 easy kills. Thomas then finds another kill by third-partying teams around them. They then use slurp juices to stagger in the zone. This allows the first moving zone to expand into the open space, which they can rotate into, giving them a very safe rotation. They finish off this rotate by tarping deep into the first moving zone and keep their tarp closed, which allows them to rotate instantly to the 10th zone. They tarp on the furthest left edge of the zone and get 2 kills, which replay mode screws us out of seeing, but the 11th moving reveals itself and they instantly tarp towards the dead side of the zone. They continue to tarp the third moving and they claim the low ground at the end of the third moving, where Thomas picks up a kill on Tabiko on the backside of the zone. They then tarp to the middle of the final moving on the low ground and begin to make a large tarp on the low ground. This makes it harder for the mid-ground teams to drop onto the low ground, meaning that they all scuff each other on the mid-ground. This allows Thomas and Malibuca to clean up a bunch of kills and find a body to continue through the low ground. They then find themselves in a 2v2v1, and they quickly drop down and kill Vidil and set themselves up for the final 2v2. They don't force this 2v2 though, as they are the low ground team, and they instead play into their advantage. Heal off. Thomas pushes the remaining duo and crucially gets tags onto both players before dying in the zone. While doing this, Malibuca simply places slurp juice in the zone and also uses his 2 medmiss to win game 2 with 14 kills. This was how Thomas and Malibuca won game 2 of FNCS Weekly Finals, and if you enjoyed this video, then I can almost guarantee you'll also love the video where I look at how Malibuca won 83.33% of the games he played in the Solo Cash Cup. Peace.